You are losing right now. Not tomorrow, not someday. Right now, while you were being polite, while you were waiting your turn, while you were doing everything you were told a good man should do, someone else is taking what should have been yours. And the worst part? They are not smarter than you. They are not more talented. They are not more deserving. They are just less concerned with being liked. Let that sink in for a second. The thing that is holding you back is not your lack of skill. It is not your background. It is not bad luck or bad timing. It is the identity you were handed as a child and never once questioned. The identity of the nice guy, the agreeable one, the one who shows up, puts in the work, never complains, and waits patiently, faithfully, for the world to reward him. And you are still waiting. Think about the last time you said yes when every part of you wanted to say no. Think about the last time you swallowed your anger because you did not want to seem difficult. Think about the last time you watched someone less qualified, less honest, less hardworking than you get the promotion, the recognition, the respect, and you told yourself it was fine. It was fine. Except it was not fine. It has never been fine. You just learned to pretend it was, because somewhere along the way, you were taught that wanting more, demanding more, expecting more, was arrogance, was selfishness, was something to be ashamed of. So you shrunk yourself. You made yourself smaller. You made yourself easy to manage, easy to overlook, easy to use. And the people around you, they noticed. They always notice. Here is the truth no one in your life has had the courage to tell you. You were not rewarded for being good. You were rewarded for being predictable. And there is a massive, devastating difference between those two things. Goodness commands respect. Predictability invites exploitation. When people know exactly how you will respond, when they know you will forgive, that you will not fight back, that you will keep showing up no matter how you were treated, they do not admire you for it. They rely on it. They build their comfort on top of your silence. They construct their advantage from your patience. You became useful, and useful things do not get respected. They get used until they break. This is not a coincidence. This is not a character flaw in the people around you. This is a system, a very old, very deliberate system. The world has always needed men who would sacrifice their ambition in service of someone else's vision. The world has always needed men who would equate suffering in silence with virtue. And so that is what they taught you. In school, they rewarded compliance and called it intelligence. In church, they rewarded submission and called it righteousness. At work, they rewarded availability and called it professionalism. At home, they rewarded agreeableness and called it maturity. Every institution in your life had the same agenda. Produce a man who does not question, does not resist, does not demand. A man who is grateful for whatever he receives and never arrogant enough to believe he deserves more. And you internalized it completely, perfectly. You became exactly what they designed. You became a man who is easy to manage, a man who is afraid of his own ambition, a man who apologizes for taking up space, a man who has been so thoroughly domesticated that he mistakes his own chains for character traits. But here's where it gets interesting, because 500 years ago, a man sat in exile, humiliated, stripped of everything, his career destroyed, his reputation in ruins, and he wrote something that was never meant for you to read, something that was so dangerous, so honest, so ruthlessly clear about how power actually works that the church tried to suppress it. Rulers who had read it in private publicly condemned it. Men who used its principles every day denied its existence in polite company. His name was Niccolò Machiavelli, and he looked at the world without the comfort of illusion, and he wrote what he saw with surgical precision. He wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Not because he was a monster, not because he hated people, but because he had watched closely, carefully, over decades of political life, what happened to men who prioritized being loved. He watched them lose everything, their positions, their dignity, their lives. He watched the kind men get replaced by the ruthless ones. He watched the generous men get betrayed by the men they were generous to. And rather than look away from that reality the way everyone else did, he documented it. He gave it language. He handed future generations a mirror and said, "Look at this clearly, or suffer the consequences of your blindness." That mirror is what you are looking at right now. The first thing Machiavelli understood that most men spend their entire lives refusing to accept is that the world does not run on fairness. It runs on perception. What you actually are matters far less than what people believe you are. The nice guy believes that if he works hard enough, if he is honest enough, if he is loyal enough, eventually people will see his true value and reward it accordingly. But that's not how human beings work. Human beings are not evaluating you with patience and objectivity. They are making rapid, instinctive judgments based on the signals you send. And the signals you send when you are perpetually agreeable, perpetually accommodating, perpetually available, those signals say one thing clearly. They say, "I do not cost anything." And anything that costs nothing is worth nothing, not in people's minds, not in the psychology of status and respect. Consider this in a real situation. You're in a meeting. Your colleague, less experienced than you, honestly, speaks with absolute certainty. He makes a claim that might not even be fully accurate, but he says it like it's scripture, and the room responds to that certainty. They nod, they follow. Meanwhile, you have been carefully qualifying every statement. You have been saying, "I think," and "maybe," and "it could be argued." You have been signaling humility. You believe you are being intellectually honest, but what the room is reading is uncertainty. What they are registering is someone who does not fully believe in himself. And in the psychology of group dynamics, the person who believes in themselves most visibly, not most accurately, most visibly, is the one that gets followed. This is not a call to become a liar. This is a call to understand the game that is already being played, with or without your awareness. Drop in the comments, "I was never losing, I was just playing the wrong game." The second thing Machiavelli understood is the danger of being needed versus the danger of being feared. Nice men work obsessively to become needed. They make themselves indispensable through service, through availability, through being the person everyone can call, and they believe this creates security. They believe that if enough people need them, they will be protected. But
Needing someone and respecting someone are not the same thing. In fact, they are often opposites. The people who need you the most can also resent you the most, because your usefulness reminds them of their own dependency, and human beings hate feeling dependent. So what happens? They find subtle ways to diminish you. They find ways to minimize your contribution. They find ways to make you feel that your help was not that significant, that they could have managed without you, because acknowledging just how much they need you costs them something psychologically they are not willing to pay. Think about the friend you've always been there for, the one you've driven to the airport, helped move apartments, lent money to, listened to at midnight. Does that person treat you like a priority, or do they treat you like a...
You have been running a program that was installed in you before you were old enough to question it. A program that told you that the highest form of manhood was sacrifice. That the measure of a good man was how much he could absorb, how much disappointment, how much disrespect, how much pain without breaking. And for a long time, you wore that as a badge. You were proud of how much you could take. You mistook your tolerance for strength. But tolerance without boundaries is not strength. It is slow erosion. And you have been eroding. The sixth principle Machiavelli laid down is perhaps the one that separates those who read him from those who truly understand him. It is the principle of initiative, of movement, of being the one who acts rather than the one who reacts. The nice guy is almost always reactive. He responds to what is done to him. He adjusts to environments rather than shaping them. He waits for permission to advance, permission to speak, permission to want. And while he waits, the men who do not ask permission are already 3 moves ahead. Think about every opportunity in your life that you hesitated on. Every conversation you rehearsed but never had. Every risk you calculated so thoroughly that by the time you felt ready, the window had closed. Machiavelli understood that fortune, what we today might call opportunity, is not patient. It does not wait for the prepared man. It rewards the bold man, the man who moves when others freeze, the man who speaks when others calculate, the man who enters the room like he has already decided the outcome. This is not recklessness. This is the cultivated habit of forward motion, the decision to no longer wait for life to hand you what you deserve, and instead to go and take what you have earned. Drop this in the comments. I stopped waiting for permission and started taking position. The 7th lesson, and perhaps the most quietly devastating, is about the economy of words. Machiavelli's most dangerous characters are never the loudest ones in the room. They are the ones who speak least and observe most. The nice guy talks too much. He over-explains, he justifies, he defends. He narrates his own intentions constantly because he is terrified of being misunderstood. But here is the dark psychology of that behavior. Every word you use to defend yourself is a signal of anxiety. Every explanation you offer unprompted is evidence of guilt. Every justification is a confession that you believe you need to be justified. And the people around you read all of it silently. They read your over-explanation as insecurity. They read your constant defense as weakness. They read your verbal accommodation as invitation. The man who says little forces others to fill the silence. And what people say to fill silence reveals far more about them than anything you could extract through questioning. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is pressure. Silence is control. The man who is comfortable in silence is the most unsettling person in any room, because everyone else is busy performing, explaining, proving, and he is simply watching, collecting, understanding. And when he finally speaks, every word lands with weight, because it was not diluted by everything that came before it. Drop this in the comments. My silence is not weakness. It is a strategy you have not decoded yet. Now we arrive at the place where most content creators stop, where most philosophers soften their message, where most teachers pull back from the edge because what comes next is genuinely uncomfortable. But you did not come here for comfort. You came here because something in you already knew, has known for a long time, that the version of yourself you have been showing the world is not the full version. That beneath the agreeableness, beneath the patience, beneath the carefully constructed image of the reasonable, accommodating, endlessly tolerant man, there is something sharper, something harder, something that has been waiting quietly with enormous patience to be acknowledged. That thing is not your rage. Rage is just pain wearing armor. That thing is clarity. The absolute, uncompromising clarity of a man who has finally seen the game for what it is and decided consciously, deliberately, permanently that he will never play by rules designed to keep him losing. Here is what that clarity feels like. You stop performing goodness for an audience that does not deserve the performance. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never designed to accommodate your full size. You stop apologizing for your ambition as if wanting to win is something you should be ashamed of. You stop, and this is the most important one, you stop being available to people who are only interested in what you can do for them and never in who you actually are. And when you stop all of that, when you genuinely, structurally stop, something remarkable happens. People notice. Not because you became aggressive, not because you became cold or calculated or cruel, but because you became present in a way you never were before. You became real. And real men who are fully present in their own life, who take up exactly the space they deserve, who do not flinch, who do not over-explain, who do not perform, those men are magnetic. Not because they are trying to be, because they are not trying to be anything other than exactly what they are. Drop this in the comments. The most powerful thing I ever did was stop needing your approval. Machiavelli's deepest insight, the one buried beneath all the political strategy and historical analysis, is this. The world does not change based on who deserves to win. It changes based on who decides to. Deserving is a passive condition. Deciding is an act of will. And will, disciplined, directed, relentless will, is the only currency that has ever actually moved the world forward. Every man who has ever built anything real, achieved anything significant, commanded anything meaningful, did not wait until he felt he deserved it. He decided, he moved, he took, and history wrote him as great, because greatness in this world is not given to the deserving, it is seized by the decisive. You have been deserving for years, patiently, faithfully deserving. And where has deserving gotten you? It has gotten you here, watching someone else live the life you were too careful to reach for, watching someone else take the position you were too polite to claim, watching someone else speak with the authority you were too self-doubting to use. The deserving are the audience, the decisive are on the stage. This is the moment, not next week, not when you feel ready, not after one more course, one more conversation, one more year of preparation. This moment, right now, is the moment where you make a choice. Not a feeling, a choice. Feelings are unreliable. Feelings change with your energy level and your blood sugar and your last conversation. A choice is structural. A choice reshapes the architecture of who you are and how you move through the world. The old you is dead. He did not survive this video. He could not, because the old you was built on a set of assumptions about how the world works that have now been permanently dismantled. The old you believed that goodness would be rewarded. The old you believed that patience would be recognized. The old you believed that if he just kept being the same reliable, predictable, self-sacrificing man he had always been, eventually, the world would see him. The old you is dead, and you should not mourn him, because he was not protecting you, he was protecting everyone else from you. You are a weapon, pointed at your own future. Not a weapon of destruction, a weapon of direction. A man with that kind of focus, that kind of clarity, that kind of deliberate forward motion is not dangerous to the world. He is dangerous to mediocrity. He is dangerous to the comfortable stories that keep men small. He is dangerous to the systems that need him predictable and available and easy to manage. And that's exactly the kind of dangerous you should want to be. You belong to no one, not to the version of you that other people decided you were, not to the role that was assigned to you before you were old enough to negotiate it, not to the comfort of others who built their lives assuming your endless accommodation, not to the fear that has kept you hovering just below the ceiling of what you actually want. You belong to no one, which means, for the first time, you belong entirely to yourself. And a man who belongs